Hello there, everyone, and hi there, Adam Lee, or Adam 80's Heaven. Uh, you had posted a thread when you wanted us to show some Christmas records, and most of all us little newer members of the vinyl community. I thought it was a little bit early to show Christmas music, but then I realized that there ain't one store right now that hasn't started to put out some Christmas stuff in the stores. Actually, it's for sale. So I guess it's a pretty good time after all. It's not that reason why I put on a red shirt actually, but it's just coincidence. I don't have all that much Christmas records, or not at least full-length albums. I only found two Christmas records that might be perfect to show actually. I have mostly Swedish Christmas records, and I'm not too sure how much those are interesting actually. But I have a lot of course, 7-inch singles, and I want to contribute to this actually. So let's start off. In the background, you're not hearing Christmas music because I felt it was a little too early to play Christmas music. It's one of these records with Oscar Peterson that I bought at JörgenS, as you saw in my last clip actually. Now, start with the only CD that I'm going to show. Mariah Carey, Merry Christmas from 1994. I'm a huge fan of Mariah Carey and her voice. She's also a gorgeous woman. And I immediately fell for All I Want for Christmas Is You the first time I heard it. She sings Christmas carols, American Christmas carols, as only she can. So this one is actually a really good one. Full-length LPs. Start off with an album that doesn't look all that good actually, but I picked it out because I think it's the only LP with American Christmas carols that I actually have. Aren't too many of them in record stores in Sweden actually, American Christmas carols. This is the most beautiful sounds of Christmas, living strings and living voices, released on RCA. You have here different medleys. You have White Christmas, you have Mary's Boy Child, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, Christmas Eve in My Hometown, Green Needles, and so on. It's not an album that I listen to very often. It's kind of low budget, but it's sweet in some way, so I kept it anyway, even though the sleeve is in awful shape. I had it for over 25 years actually, this album. Here is a very interesting album. This is an album consisting of Swedish artists. That was those who were the most popular ones in the late 80s. It's an album where they do actually newly written Christmas songs. It's an album called Tip Top, and it's very special songs. Many of them who, if you don't, the only way you can hear that it's a Christmas song actually is by the lyrics, because otherwise it is very free from jingle bells and so on. But in some way the lyrics are very great. My personal favorite here is Tomtens klagan, the Santa's complaints, sung by the veterans Anders Glenmark and Björn Skifs. Björn Skifs, who is the singer of Blue Swede, who did Hooked on a Feeling in the 70s. And in this song they actually sing like Santa Claus. They sing Santa Claus apart when Santa Claus is complaining about all the work he has to do on Christmas Eve, and everyone is ungrateful, and he is really tired of working at Christmas Eve. It's very hilarious and funny lyrics actually. So, but it's also some very interesting stuff here. You have Tip Tap Rap sung by the Jacko family, who of course is a spoof of Jackson 5. So it's a very, very funny Christmas album, very different one. Coming now to the singles, and here's a 12-inch that I think is very, very great, even though there are only one song on this EP that actually is about Christmas. This is Erasure and their Crackers International, and 12-inch that actually was number 1 at UK chart in 1988. Consisting of 4 tracks. The most famous one is Stop, that was played very often and on the hit charts. The Hardest Part, Knocking on Your Door, and She Won't Be Home. That is the only song that actually is about Christmas. But it's still, they managed to do some Christmas feelings here. If you look at the sleeve, they have written Merry Christmas in 8 different languages here on the back. And one of them are, of course, Swedish. So it's very, very nice. 80s synth pop Christmas single, actually. Christmas songs otherwise isn't all that famous in synth pop areas. Now let's move on to 7-inch singles, and some of them are very ordinary. So I'm going to take these one pretty fast. Bryan Adams' Christmas Time. This is a favorite of mine. A single that have really managed to have a perfect balance between sweet Christmas feelings and some really great rock feeling also. So I like this one very, very much. It's a personal favorite of mine. And from what I understand, it's a song that Bryan Adams still performs every now and then. Wham! Last Christmas and Everything She Wants. And I have both versions. This is a single with Last Christmas and the A-side and Everything She Wants on the other side. This is one with Everything She Wants at the A-side. So, pretty ordinary single. Chris Rea, Driving Home for Christmas. Then, of course, maybe the most ordinary Christmas single, at least here in Sweden and in Europe. Of course, Band Aid's Do They Know It's Christmas from 1984. I like the B-side of this one. It is a B-side where they have that, the instrumental version of this song, but also all the artists on this album, on this song actually, are doing their own different messages to all the buyers of this record. So it's very, very great to hear everyone say 1 or 2 words to the one who likes the single. But this is, of course, a classic. Then, of course, in 1989 there was a new version, Band Aid 2, with Do They Know It's Christmas. And for those of you who aren't all too familiar with your 80s, what are the difference between these songs? This is a disco version made by Stock Aitken Waterman, the British disco kings in the late 80s. And consisting then of some of Britain's biggest artists at the late 80s, early 90s, like Jimmy Somerville, Chris Rea, Cliff Richard, Kylie Minogue, Lisa Stansfield, Sonia, Wet Wet Wet, and so on. And Bananarama was the only one on both singles. I like them both, actually. This one has been heavily criticized through the years, but I like them both because I like Stock Aitken and Waterman, and I like this is a classic, a really classic masterpiece. However, I don't like this version that came out 2004. I think that was horrible. Whoa. 5-star British disco soul group with Somewhere Somebody. This one is not a Christmas song usually, but they made it in a Christmas release. You see here, Mistletoe. And if you open it, it says Merry Christmas from 5-star. And it's also made as a special calendar. But, and that is a very, very good idea, but the fun stops right there. If you open these calendars and take a look inside, it's just pictures of the band in various live performances. So I think that would be much greater if you had some imagination and done some different, but it's a pretty fun idea. I like it's interesting release. Now let's move on to the Swedish singles. What does the Swedes listen to most when it comes to Christmas time. Not this one, I'm sure, but I like this one anyway. This is a group that Karsten Olsen showed in a previous video with a record, and I have that record too, and it's one of the most weirdest and most hilariously funny records that I actually have. And I'm talking about the group Karamba. Karamba, who was a very anonymous group, who was mostly consisting Mikael Betretov, the engineer of ABBA. This is a Christmas single they released, Karamba's Youth, Karamba's Christmas, and a song called Hare Christmas, who of course is a spoof of Hare Krishna. This is a very, very odd single with much influence from India, and the special gimmick this Karamba was that they sang in a total nonsense language, a language that didn't exist. They made up their own language that was totally stupid. So they sing, of course, in this nonsense language, and it's very, very funny. I'm a real sucker for these odd singles that actually you wonder what the hell did they actually take when they did this, and it's really, really great. Now, this is one of these singles that you can hear the most when you do some Christmas shopping in Swedish stores. Group Triad. It is some kind of a super group that was in 1987, consisting some of the biggest veterans in Swedish rock music. Lasse Lindbom, Niklas Strömstedt, and Janne Bark, with the song Tended Use, Light a Candle. This sung in a cappella and consisting very much jingle bells and so on, and became almost a national Christmas anthem here in Sweden. And this has also become that also, some kind of a national Christmas anthem. This is Swedish synth-pop, 80s synth-pop group Olsson och Falk, julsingle, Christmas single, with the song Mer jul, More Christmas. And it's a song where they sing how they absolutely love Christmas and everything that is Swedish Christmas. And it's filled with sound effects and jingle bells and so on, and very, very relaxing Christmas song. So it's become a very, very huge favorite for many Swedes. This one is a little oddity. Roxette, It Must Have Been Love. And now you wonder, what the devil is that song doing there? It is from the soundtrack Pretty Woman. But in this original, It Must Have Been Love was released as a Christmas single. The original title of the song is It Must Have Been Love, Christmas for the Broken-Hearted. So it was released as a Christmas song from the beginning. But when Hollywood wanted to have this song in Pretty Woman, they asked Per Gessle for a song, and he didn't have much time to do a new song, so he sent them this old Christmas song, and they were all too pleased because it didn't fit the style in the Pretty Woman movie. So he had to do a little rewriting of this song and new recording of it. But here is, of course, the original of 1987, the Christmas version. And finally, there hasn't been a Christmas for me if I haven't been listening on this one at least once. I'm talking about Swedish-Finnish tenor Jussi Björling singing "O Holy Night," or as it's called in Sweden, that's of course the Swedish version, "O Helga Natt," or Adams julsång. This is totally beautiful. This is, of course, it's some kind of opera, but it is sung with such a feeling and with such a Christmas feeling, such an atmosphere that actually makes my body shiver because it's so beautiful. This is maybe my anthem, Christmas anthem. So even though it wasn't all that much Christmas songs, I was hoping to show some jazz Christmas records, but I don't have any. So even though it wasn't all that much, I hope that you have enjoyed my showing of Christmas records. And I'm going to talk a little bit more close we come to Christmas about more about Swedish Christmas traditions and so on. But for now, I hope that you and you, Adam, have enjoyed this one, and that you all have been enjoying this. And I hope to see you soon again. And until next time, have a really great one. So long.